Why can't I find a home to buy? Hey y'all, Aimee Derylo, Ask Aimee for Downers Grove and DuPage County Real Estate. I'm here today because I've gotten the question a lot of times recently, why can't I find a home to buy? Well, there are a number of reasons that are factoring into where we are with inventory in our market right now. First, interest rates. Interest rates have been historically low for a very long time now. It's been really a fantastic time to buy a home because technically money is very cheap. So we've got a lot of pent up demand because we don't have enough inventory for the people who want to buy. Plus, and particularly today, I don't want to date this too much because we like to keep my videos evergreen, but today the Fed just did their first interest rate hike in more than 4 years. So it's time. And now there's even more incentive for people who were on the fence before to take action before those interest rates tick a bunch higher. Additionally, it sometimes is more beneficial for somebody rather than selling their home when they're moving is to actually hold on to it. When money is so cheap to lend and to borrow, then there can be some great incentives to actually keeping and landlording a home that you have formerly lived in and have now moved on. So it's not freeing up that extra inventory. A second thing that's actually behind all of this inventory crunch is skyrocketing rents. So anybody who's been in the rental market for a while, you've seen over the past 2 years, but 1 year in particular, to see how rents have escalated. And to have a little bit of control over that, a lot of people are turning toward the home buying market and hoping to lock in a little bit of consistency with what that payment looks like rather than being at the mercy of landlords who decide that they want to keep increasing the rent. A third factor that we've been seeing is the results of underbuilding. And this has been going on since way back when the bubble burst, and many of the then home builders either went out of business or just kind of retrenched and stopped building. We have never gotten back up to the level that we need to be able to maintain and even grow in population. So we've got a lot of people who are sitting on the sidelines because there's been no building. So your upper part of the market, the people who are maybe move up buyers who are ready to say, I want to be in this new construction home, are opting to stay rather than move. And we're not freeing up the inventory for everybody kind of further down the line. So you're going to see a lot of struggles because of that as well. Additionally, there's been a demographic shift over the past couple of years. We have had what is one of the very largest generations, millennials, have come into their prime home buying years. So we want to get in, we are past college, we've passed that first job, maybe we've started a family, and we want to be able to actually own property as well. So there's people flooding in the millennial generation to be able to actually purchase those homes. And some of these are people who have been saddled with a lot of student debt for a very long time and have had to hold off for a while. So they're actually being able to come into the market now, and they've really been kind of a force to reckon with in terms of inventory. You couple that with something I referred to a moment ago, and that is that those move up buyers haven't been moving up as frequently. In fact, something that we used to talk about all the time years ago is that, around 7 years was about the average time that a household would stay in a particular property. That has moved way up. And the average time somebody stays in a home at this point is 13 years. So there's been kind of this whole cycle of inventory that hasn't been freed up from the people who are not moving up and from millennials who are kind of coming into the market and wanting to gobble up the inventory that's there. COVID actually had a big impact on housing as well in terms of what inventory is available. The foreclosure moratorium that came with the CARES Act was super important to be able to safeguard people during a very, very unsteady time. But the counter side of that is that we didn't have foreclosure inventory coming. And mind you, it's not typically a huge percentage of our market, but it is consistently a portion of it. And without any distress sales happening during this time, again, there's not been any freeing up of inventory. And a lot of times some of the distressed properties might be excellent for people who are coming in and wanting fixer-uppers, for first-time home buyers who can put a little bit of sweat equity into a place and really make it shine. We just haven't had the inventory of those. And finally, the big elephant in the room, inflation. Now, I know everybody's talking about inflation right now, and it's a very, very big hot point. It applies to the real estate market as well, but it applies in a way that's interesting because real estate historically has been an excellent hedge against inflation. And you can look at all the statistics. If you want to sit and talk with me about it, I would love to get into the weeds with you on it. But trust me when I say it generally proves to be a really good hedge against inflation. So there are a lot of people with money that they want to be able to invest that are pouring into real estate right now because it does tend to be that solid hedge. And guess what? That's a final tick on all of the inventory woes that we've been having. So just to sum up, there are a number of things that are going on in the marketplace. It's not just one thing or another. It all is coming together in sort of this perfect storm. You're not imagining the fact that it's harder to buy a house right now. It is. So that's why you need to make sure you connect with me, because I bring together all kinds of creative solutions that are going to help us find an excellent home for you in a price range that you're happy with. And looking forward, we're going to have it be a great hedge against inflation as well. Have additional questions that you want to talk about on a future Ask Aimee, let me know. You can find me on all social media for Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and reach out, Ask Aimee, and I'll talk to you soon.